all characters, and excuse me, I haven't decided whether I'm going to do that or not, but let's see here. What I think I'm going to do is get a make a private float.
Here you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You got anything else?
Nope.
Okay, cool. I'll be off and I'll come back and
Okay.
for Friday.
Cool. Okay. So private float.
Oh, one last thing.
Yes.
How much is on this card? I'm gonna go see if it works at Starbucks.
$38-ish.
Okay.
It needs to be activated though.
Okay. I'll do that.
All right. Private float. No. Private. Sure. Private float. Previous Y. And then a public float. Delta Y. Get current Y minus previous Y. So transform dot position dot Y minus previous Y. Return that. Cool. All right. So is that right? Is that the right order? If you're at 0, hi Todd, welcome. So right now I'm trying to figure out offsets, and for some reason it just I always forget the order. Hi, this is official. So if you're at 0, 0, and someone's at -1, then the offset would be 0. Oh my goodness! Thank you, Starry Phoenix, for the. Are those called bits? I don't even know yet. Yeah, I just became affiliate, so that's super exciting, and you can throw money at me if you want. How is everyone today? I am so tired, and Sparrow actually just refilled me with a second thing of coffee already in the morning. Probably not a good idea, especially since I gave blood yesterday. Yet here I am. So anyway, the offset should be -1, which means the offset would have to be, or the previous would be the start, right? The first. Ugh, I don't know why I always forget this. So if it's +1 and 0, then 1 minus 0. All right, let's try 1. So if this is 1, and this is say 2, then the offset should be +1, yes. And then if this is -1 and this is 2, then the offset should be -3. So -1 minus 2 is -3? Yeah, okay. Yeah, I just always mess those up, and I don't know why. It's really silly. All right, so delta Y is what we're going to use, and we'll use, let's find the pooper, and adjust the velocity of the spawn by that. So let's see here. All right, looks like I'm gonna have to break this stuff out now. This is going to be final velocity, I guess, and before that, I've been drinking a lot of juice and Gatorade burb. All right, so var, this is stupid. All right, those are all wrong, bad names. New velocity, or how about Why don't I just build the vector? No, sorry. Like I said, I'm pretty out of it today, so I apologize if I'm a little slow. What am I wanting to do? I want to use the delta y that I just used as basically a velocity for y. So what I want to do probably is something closer to vector 3. Just make a new vector in this case. Vector 3 forward. That's going to be on the z-axis, right? Yeah. And then the x will be 0. Negative. No, the delta y. So that's going to be player movement times dot delta y, and this is why I should be using times modifier. This is why I should be using rigid body, so that I don't have to dig into player movement just to get the delta y, which is absurd. I could do it here actually. That's probably better. I'll move delta y to here. Times modifier, which will just decrease the amount that we're doing it, and then negative poop velocity h. So that's the vector that I want to generate in the place of this. Oh, but I also want this to be modifying this thing. I think. It's not quite right. Because let's just say that that is this was -1, and then I wanted to alter it by, oh no, that's fine, that's right. Okay, cool. So the issue that I'm fixing right now is Trello, here we are. The bird can poop upwards through itself, which is not good if you're moving down while you're pooping. And obviously that's, like I said, not very good. So that's what we're fixing right now. I'm going to pull these out and put them in here for now. But again, I could have gotten all of this information if I just set it as a rigid body and velocity movement. It's just I was having trouble doing that before. So let's see here. Where do we use that? Nowhere yet. Okay. So I need to log the previous y out, or not log it, but cache it basically on update. This doesn't even have an update yet. Okay, well, we'll do that. Previous y equals, no, this would be on late update. Yeah. Hi, the Geek Ranger, welcome. Talking to mom is important. I should probably do that sometime soon, because I haven't talked to her in like a week or two. Previous y is equal to the current position, right? Transform dot position dot y. Yeah. So that happens in late update, which basically is caching the current position so that the next update can use the current position. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Let's try that. Oops. Let's try that and see what happens. There are some errors. Oh, right. First of all, new vector 3. And second of all, I need to parameterize that. And instead of modifier, we're going to call this y modifier for now. It didn't even have any data in it, so I can just dump it up here for now. Let's see here. Yeah, this class is totally doing too many things and is a bit too big because of that. Like, it's not a big class. Thank you so much, This Is Official, for your subscription. That's awesome. Like, it's only 161 lines, so that's not a huge class. The problem is less with the size than the fact that this class is now taking care of the special action as well as keeping track of the actual bird's velocity, basically, which is not good, and obviously pooping. And I think it's also... No, okay, cool. It's not keeping track of its own poop meter anymore, but it is keeping track of its special poop meter, which is not good. So yeah, it's doing at least 4 separate things, and that's very bad. The main reason that that's super bad is because it's really hard to it's really hard to debug a piece of code that has 4 separate things that it's doing. So, you know, if I have a problem with player movement, I might, for some reason, have to look at this script for the velocity information, and that's terrible. If I have a problem with the special, I might have to look at this for the special, but if I change something for the special here, it might break something in the normal pooping activity. So it's generally looked down upon to have a class doing anything more than one function, and that's something that I really need to fix at some point. But the question I have right now is, does that help at all? Right, my modifier is 0, so that didn't change a thing. Y modifier. For now, we'll make it 1, which basically is going to... It doesn't seem to be doing much of anything, actually. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on. Let me turn off all of the obstacles, just so I can see a little bit better. NPC, building, pickups and buildings, all of those are going to be turned off. Follow age? Why is that NPC still? What is going on with him? How is he still in the scene? Did he just never make it into the container? Yeah, he never did. There. You go there. Silly guy. Alright. So, first of all, I noticed that this might be off. The targeting is on, at least while I'm not moving. But if I, let's see here, edge of the building. No? Okay, then it's pretty much on. Stream keeps lagging for you. OBS doesn't show any dropped frames. And my performance is fine enough. 6 megabits, 8 megabits per second. I have 100 megabits. Okay, so it's definitely not on my end. No. Huh. One would think that should have affected the velocity a bit more than it seemed to. This is on spawn poop. 0F is correct for the X direction. Delta Y times Y modifier. I guess delta Y would be super, super tiny. So you would need to multiply that by the... Oh. Oh! Sorry. You're right. I'm so sorry. Thanks, Geek Ranger. Yeah, there was a lot of audio distortion, and that was entirely because I had the microphone turned up all the way because I was trying to talk to someone on Google Hangouts phone last night to deal with some insurance stuff, and it didn't work. Yeah, Todd, that's basically correct. I mean, I have a rigid body on the player for collisions and triggers and stuff, but it's kinematic right now, and I'm using Translate to move it. And I'm also using Translate to move the NPCs wherever they are. So that's on my to-do list over here, probably. Change all movement systems to fully support non-kinematic rigid body. So I want to do that at some point because this is... not using things like velocity are causing some really annoying minor issues that just kind of stack up over time, so I need to fix that at some point. So anyway, what was I doing? The problem was my... the delta Y is just going to be really tiny, so of course it's barely going to make any effect. At least you have the rigid body, but not having velocity is rather annoying. Yes, correct. Let's see here. Level can go up a little bit more, says you. Oh, yeah, I did. I missed the 8 by a little bit. All right, there we go. That's where it used to be, I think. All right, so I made that number really big. It should do nothing here. Yeah, and then if I'm all the way at the top and I swoop down to the bottom, where did it go? Oh, yeah, it's going up now. So even after thinking it through, I still messed up the offset direction. Which is why you said head minus tail. My apologies. Did I save that? Yeah, good. I didn't even see that happen. Okay, so that's clearly too high. Delta Y times 1000 is much too big. Yeah, okay, cool. So that's way too much, obviously, but that does keep you from ever pooping into yourself, which is good. So what I need to do is just find a kind of sweet spot, and then I need to add y velocity into the calculation, I guess. The calculation of the targeter. Currently I have a constant speed. Over time, my guess is each level will just speed up. Huh. Maybe this isn't worth it, because I'd have to really push that hard. In order to keep you from ever pooping on yourself. Like, we're already at 35, and it's still not quite there. Yeah. I'm guessing this is not worth it. I'm guessing that pooping through yourself is more acceptable than what I'm doing now. So, I'm going to remove all of that, because that just doesn't feel necessary. Yeah, it doesn't feel necessary. If you're able to calculate the speed of both the poop and the bird, you could try to compare the difference between the food. The speed is moving faster, then add the difference. Yeah, I could do that. But like, it doesn't. Okay, you guys tell me how you feel. To me, this doesn't feel bad per se. Like, it's, I mean, I'm going faster than the poop, and therefore I'm passing it up, right? So I don't know. It doesn't feel bad to me. It just is. It's unusual, but it feels okay. I guess let me know if you disagree or not. And I'm just gonna put these back into a prettier shape. Vector 3 forward times that. Cool. I think I fixed it. Oh, okay, cool. Good job. I hope my stream looks much better now. All right, so let's turn everything back on. Okay. Yes, good. Run into the red things. Very good. That's what we want. All right. So one of the biggest problems I'm finding, and I don't know if this is because I'm not able to look at. Oh, whoops! Something's wrong. Oh no, nothing's wrong exactly. Okay. Being able to cause your poop to hit the ground faster by diving might also help improve the feel, but if it's pain to do, I wouldn't give it high priority. I mean, that's a fair point too. Giving your player a little bit of control, a little bit of additional control over the poop speed is kind of interesting. All right, guys. All right. Cool. Well, I'll make that happen. Let's see here. I think I need to spend some time refactoring this pooper script, though, because until I do that, it's going to be a mess, and it's going to get worse. So that's on the table. Let me find this. This has got to happen. I'm gonna move this to the main one. Okay. So that will happen after that. But first, split up the pooper class. Very funny, Aiden. Okay. We're going to work on that before I do all of that stuff. Now, there was something I noticed. Right. I was noticing that it felt a little sluggish when I was tapping. And that's because previously I'd set this to 0.2. I'm going to split the difference and say 175. It used to be 0.15. Oh, yeah, there are hotkeys on Trello. I don't know if you knew that, but it's a little clunky. So if you go to edit labels, the first green label is always mapped to 1. This is always mapped to yellow is always mapped to 2, orange to 3, and red to 4. I don't think they even map purple and blue, and I'm not sure why. But these first 4 they map. And then, for instance, if there are a few other mappings that exist. You'll want to check it out. I think it's in There's a cheat sheet somewhere on this page, I think. Shortcuts, here we go, that you can check out if you want at some point. So anyway, that exists. Yay. All right. So yeah, this was feeling a little sluggish, so I've adjusted it. So I guess the problem with running into the ground was you could just go straight through the ground, and I don't want to go straight through the ground. And I think the only good solution for that is to give the ground a damage, like a hazard script, a static hazard script, and will cause a little bit of damage on collision, but that's not going to fix everything. I think it needs to actually collide with the player, which means I need to be using collision instead of triggering, which means I need to do all that other stuff first. All right, cool, wonderful. So split up pooper class. We'll start there. This is going to be code heavy, guys, so sorry, I guess. Or yay, if you like code. I like code. All right, let's see here. So, can I make these smaller a little? No? Okay. I know I can. How do you... scroll bar options? No? I don't know. Whatever. It's fine. Okay. So, what I want to do is start moving stuff. Actually, this should be on the left. Come to think of it. You know what? I'll just put it in the center for now. So, there's a lot of stuff that needs to change here. That needs to move away. I'll start with the easy stuff first. The easy stuff is going to be, I guess, this special meter. It's kind of silly, I think, that the pooper and the special meter are at the same place. How did I do this? There's a health poop meter, and then there's a special meter. Most likely, I can create something that extends, or that I can extend into the health meter and the poop meter. Yeah, let's see. Actually, all right. Current health, and I'm gonna when I talk through this, I'm going to basically talk through it as if this were the special meter instead of the health meter, and I'm going to see how much of this can be, this code would be duplicated if I just duplicated this entire thing. So this would be the maximum special. Okay, maximum special, current special, return current special, backing field. Clamp the current special to 0 and max special. That's fine. So I'd have to make a new event. Actually, I think I already have that event in existence. A special meter change. Yeah, I have that. Good. And then I would check special. And no, I wouldn't need to check special, actually. Interesting. Can you C#, abstract, no, not abstract property, what's the keyword? You've got an override and a virtual property. Is that a thing that exists? Virtual inherited property can override, and can it also, yeah, okay. Use a virtual property on a static, but that's not static. A virtual inherited property can be overridden. Cool. Okay, so we can use virtual properties. That's good. So I can easily just tack this onto the property, I think, for health. The reason I was questioning all of that is because I don't want the check health in the special. The special is either active or like full or it's not. Private on collision. This is all going to be part of the health component, not the other one. And process damage, again, health component. That being said, no, that's right. That's right. And then subscribe and all of this stuff. And then the score modifier would go in here. Yeah, okay, this could work. Cool. So I'm actually going to pull out some of this code into a new class, or yeah, into a new class. Extract class. All right, what do I want? On collision, on trigger, process damage. I do want start, I think. I want disable, subscribe, unsubscribe. This one here. Okay. I think that's right. So I will call this class a stat meter. All right, public class stat meter. So the one thing that needs to go here is that, and oof, right. Let's see here. There's a lot to move. Speaking of moving, let's move this into a separate file and then put them side by side. All right. So we have this, and this can be different, but whatever. I'll work on it a piece at a time. Here it is. This needs to go here, and that's going to break a lot of stuff. This is not going to be a it's not going to contain the poop meter. It's going to be a poop meter, at least for now. I mean, a stat meter. So we're going to extend stat meter, and stat meter will extend mono behavior. All right. So what's this base class? Right. So this is an abstract class. You never instantiate it anywhere. Base class stat meter doesn't contain parameterless constructor. Right. That is this part. Cool. Check health if current health poop is less than or equal to 0. Now we're going to have to change the names of all of this stuff. What do we have here? This stuff actually needs to move, right? Yeah. To here. I forgot those. So much red. Oh. What? Messed up on that one. All right, what's going on here? Oh, that was just a pass through. Yeah, I think that's just passing through. Okay, cool. So I don't need that at all. And then you don't need you. All right. So, good start. Woot. So check health never gets called. That's because I haven't yet this virtual, which means I can now say public override float current health poop, and that is going to be I've never used a property like this before. Get, is this how to do it? Return base dot current health poop, and then here set is base dot property float stat meter. Yeah, I didn't think that would work. Oh, maybe you do this equals value. And this is all gray because this is basically saying you're doing exactly what the base class is doing. So that's why that went all gray, which means that I'm doing what I want. And then you just check health. Okay, cool. That worked. Yay. Check health die. Collisions. All of this is related to health only. And yeah, good. So that works. I think. I'm probably going to want to make these virtual and virtual. If that's legal, it is legal. That's good. Just so I can subscribe to other things if I need to. In fact, no, not virtual. Abstract.
My love.
Hi.
How are you doing?
Doing okay.
You're better now here.
I do seem to be better.
You seem to not be so sleepy.
Yeah.
I'm happy for you.
Thank you.
I'm gonna pet this cat.
Seems good.
I'm gonna drag her ass where people can see her. And I guess Steve Larson sees the newest edition on this tree. Both of you are very heavy. There.
Okay, there we go. Now the problem is change. This is still not. What's the best way to do this? So change poop. Where's that? There. It's this one here. And it would take an event. Did that work?
Yes.
Good. Interesting. All of these could. They could all extend a meter thing, but no, that's dumb. All right, sorry, I got a little bit stuck. I can just do a protected variable, and yeah, let's do it like this. So this is going to say current health poop is going to be plus equal to, and all of these are public because they're implementations of this. Okay. Subscribe, unsubscribe. And those probably need to stay public. Okay, awesome. So that all should work well enough. Before I start renaming everything, I need to find out if it does work well enough. This is just health, which should be adjusted via pooping, which is not working, and running into things, which is also not working. Awesome. I broke everything. Why did I break everything? Max health poop is 10 still. So that's what I want. Thank you, Apple. Oh, there's a null reference exception somewhere. Hi, the Noob Master. Welcome. Health poop meter. Oh, I didn't find this. And so this is problematic. Private health poop meter. How did I find that before? Like, what is this? Why do I have this? Oh, this is stuff that got added later? Yeah, okay. This is stuff that got added when I did the extract class refactor that didn't work well. So it should be unnecessary, and it should fix all these null reference exceptions that I have going on. Debug, run into that, lose life, good. Poop, lose health, perfect. And die. Beautiful. All right, so that's working again. I did all of that so that I can, let's see here, max stat. Current health poop. Current stat. Current stat. All right, this one's a problem. Okay, so I'm going to refactor this out to be a percentage. And then I'm going to cut all of that out and put it in implementation rather than the no? Oh, That's weird. Didn't really expect that. I guess I have to do this here. This is weird. I know what to do. Silly. Public float percentage stat is a simple calculation of current stat divided by max stat. Now, all of these things are public right now because I haven't decided who's going to be talking to who yet, but eventually they'll need to get protected or something. Oops, and I've got to name that correctly. There we go. So what we can do here is percentage stat. Cool. Okay. Awesome. So that piece of code is moved out, which is great. So hopefully you can tell that I'm kind of just like piece by piece pulling code that doesn't belong in the base class out and putting it back into the implementation class. I'm doing all of this so that I can treat the health poop meter and the special meter in the exact same way. I'll literally be able to extend stat meter with a special meter and do pretty much this, but without any of the health specific content. So yeah, that's what all this stuff that I'm doing right now is for. Thank you, Noob Master. If you have any questions, please ask them. I know that, like, especially right now, this is very code heavy. And I'm not doing a great job of explaining everything. So just, like, if you've got a question other than, I don't understand what you're doing, please ask. If you can come up with a specific question, that will help me be able to answer it a lot better. Yeah. Okay, so let's just make sure that all works again. Thank you for the wall of red. Where is my player? Lol. Good start. What is this? All right, I'm gonna close these for now. What's going on here? Bar meter. Health meter? Find usages. What do we got? Game, UI. Okay. poop meter. Yes, I did add some color. I did that last night or last stream. At the very end of the stream, I was like, you know what? I should throw some color in here because I was adding things like floating balloons that are hazards that you have to dodge, and I kind of rebuilt the scene, and it was getting really hard to tell things apart. So adding color made it so that I could tell, okay, I don't want to hit that because it's red, obviously. I do want to shoot this because it's yellow, and I do want to touch that because it's green. For now, obviously. Let's see here. Assign attempt for poop meter is not valid. Well, why can't I select anything? Select the thing where... Poop meter. What's going on? You're just a poop meter script. You subscribe to a specific event, and you just do your thing. Okay, this... I mentioned being drunk last night, but I woke up really groggy today, and groggy plus drunk, very bad plan. So I decided against it, at least for now. I might do it later in the stream. Maybe. Like maybe after my 2:30 break or something. Maybe I'll start then. But it turns out it's a really good thing that I'm not, because this is lots of just straight up code refactoring, and that's easy to get wrong, and it's confusing, and there are lots of moving parts. So yeah. All right, let me just see what the symptoms are first. The symptoms are the player isn't even here, and I'm not entirely certain why. Like, did the player just disappear? Yeah, the player just died immediately. And that is probably causing this error. Okay, so I don't need to look there. I think I need to look here. Into... the max stat is 0. Yeah, there we go. All right, good. Good. Cool. All right. That's all working. Good. I would like this to read, instead of max stat, I'd like it to read health. So I need to find a way to do that. Oh, there are audio sync issues now? Wonderful. Can someone tell me what direction it is? Like, is my voice coming in before the picture, or is my picture coming in before my voice? Let me know about that. I didn't realize it was very bad. Let's see here. Audio seems slightly delayed. Interesting. Oh, that's the total opposite. All right, so one person is saying the audio is after and voice before picture. So this is official. Do you agree with their assessment? Sorry, Toro. Voice before picture. Definitely audio before picture for you, but two other people are saying that it's picture before audio. Wait, no, what? I heard the audio later, but that could be on my end. All right. What's happening? Let's see here. Audio seems slightly delayed. That would imply voice before picture. Then we have audio before picture. Wait, no. Audio seems slightly delayed. That would be picture, voice. The next one is voice, picture, voice, picture, voice, picture, picture, voice, picture, voice. Great. All right, so everyone's getting different values. And I don't know how to fix that because, yeah, there's apparently a fairly major audio delay one way or the other, and I'm getting pretty much equal back and forth. No one seems to be able to decide which direction it is. Thank you. All right. So I wanted to name. Sorry for the loud sound, everyone. Yeah, I wanted to. The sound is coming after the picture.
I would say like maybe a full second.
A full second.
Maybe a little less, but close to a full second.
So picture sound. That's super weird. Let's see here. Picture sound. All right. Well, if that's the case, then all I have to do is open the filters and add the delay. Render delay. All right. Is that too much? How is this? Oh, if it's actually a full second, then I have to add 2 render delays. Oh, Aiden says that looks good. One more time. Okay. That's really weird because this is exactly the same configuration as I've used in the last 7 streams. Yay! I don't know why. Maybe it's... I mean, that would imply that my Sapphire is getting delayed. Do I have a delay on the Sapphire anywhere? Just a 10 millisecond offset. No, that shouldn't have done it. I don't know. Weird. I don't know. Like I said, it's... Actually, that means I have to probably add a delay to the main window as well. So, properties. No, not properties. Thank you, Sparrow. Thank you, everyone. Render delay. 500 milliseconds. All right. Cool. So, I wanted to see if there was a way to, like, name this differently in Health Poop Meter, and I have no idea if that's possible or not. So I'm going to start there. Inspector gadget. No. Unity rename base class serialized field. Excuse me. Rename attribute. One of those. Okay, yeah, I need to I need to learn these one day, but that's super annoying. So what I probably should do is this solution, which is what I was thinking about doing before. All right. So, private float max stat. can we just force it to... All right, I'm gonna put that on a to-do. To-do, find way to rename this in derived class. Yeah. That's probably best. Where am I going? Unity. There we go. All right. So now I can just duplicate this file, rename it to special meter, and we probably don't need to override that here, and we certainly don't need that. Actually, we might need that. Check special, and it's actually going to be a Boolean, and it's going to be public because we're going to probably need that elsewhere. Current stat is less than or equal to 0, then return false, and else return true, which can be done like that. And let's just get rid of all the double negatives here, because those are weird and confusing. What's going on here? Current stat does not exist in the context. Base current stat. Qualifier base is redundant. Okay. Duplicate. Oh, bad name. Interesting. Okay. So there's a special meter. Yeah, I have to come up with a different name now for all of this stuff. Stat tracker? Uncheck special meter. Okay. And special tracker. There we go. Okay, cool. So public, bool, check special. This shouldn't even be a function. This should just be a property. Like that. Get rid of that. And finally, rename this to actually, I'll do special empty, special tracker empty, and that is current stat is less than or equal to 0. So if special tracker is empty, do nothing. Yeah, okay, good, good. Now, this means I can get rid of all of that, and that. Special health poop chain, special meter change. Oops. Yeah, that class has to get renamed. That was percentage? That's not right then. Special. Nope. All right. All right. We're almost there. Yeesh. Player events. Special meter change is just the percentage. Yeah, these classes need to change names as well. Very soon. Special meter. All right, what's going on? What do you subscribe to? You... When do we change those values? We have all of this stuff. And we actually do raise this event, so I actually need all of that stuff back in. Public override. No. Public override. Sparrow! The noob master says bless you. She says thank you. Float current stat. Alright, no, alright. Paste that just to hold it there. In stat tracker, we have this. There we go. Base dot current stat. And you. Thank you, this is official. This is me when I sneeze. This is official, just sneezed 100 bits at me. Yes. Sparrow's very excited about money. I think that's money. I actually don't know how this stuff works yet at all. I think that's money. So we would have to say base dot current stat equals value. But then do this. And base dot percentage stat, which we don't need base there. There we go. Okay. Cool. Good start. You need 1 million? Yeah, no, 100,000 bits to make $100. Gotcha. All right, so, we've actually done that. Now, where does this get called? In reset meters, which I'm gonna get rid of. And then add special meter. This is the score calculation here. Yeah. All right. Blah, 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 blah. That's what I say. Blah, 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 blah. All right, all of this needs to be in the special meter, right? Yes, because all of it is dealing with the special meter. So I'm gonna just cut it all out and put it in. And rename it to current stat. And subscribe to score add. Don't need that right now. Okay, here we go. I think we're getting somewhere. Oops. There we go. Ah, this feels good. We're starting to make actual progress now. This already happens, I think, in the base class. Current equals max stat. Oh, interesting. That would start you with a special, which is not what we want. So let's do a virtual here. And that's protected. And this will allow you to control how it starts. Start. Except not private. Protected. Override. Base start. And then current stat actually is set to 0. Then we're going to do the same thing, but I guess actually the opposite thing in this one. Yeah. Which is going to have a protected override. Void start, can't type, which is great. Base start, and that, which is inaccessible due to protection level. Protected. Okay. So that should get both of these, I think, close to working. So special meter here is going to, it subscribes itself to score add and increases every time that you get a score add. But then the problem is that it never goes back to 0. Oh, what's happening in the chat? Lots of stuff. 10,000, that makes more sense. Blah, 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 blah. Right, I made my math wrongly. You add an extra 0 on accident. Ooh, you got a new badge. Cool. Wonderful. Okay, cool. So where were we? I wanted to open up the pooper, which is going to have a lot of legacy code that I can remove now, which is great. Let's see here. Including stuff in here. But that's not quite legacy yet. All right, so special meter, this stuff has to go because I just built that into a new system. So I probably have to do, yeah, I have to do this now. Private, special tracker. Special tracker. Actually, I'll just call it special, and I'll rename that health and poop. Cool. So now I need to fill out that with special equals get component special tracker. Okay. Awesome. So first of all, we say special, nope, dot percentage stat, no, current stat. know what makes more sense? Percentage stat needs to be greater than or equal to 100. Right? I mean 1F. Yeah. So that makes a lot of sense, and actually this should probably be can do special should be in the special meter. It should be public. Oh. And it simply returns that. And you know what? It should be a property. I don't have to avoid properties anymore. They're so much simpler to write and so much prettier to write. That's pleasant. Cool. All right. Error list should be long. Yes. Yes, it is. All right. Good, I think. Put that up top. So, if special dot can do special, then fire special, right? Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, you're not weird and stupid, Noob Master. I am. I'm weird and stupid. Sparrow would disagree. Just like this is official disagrees. All right. So yeah, that makes sense. If special can do special, then fire special. And every time you fire the special, you call special dot reset, which doesn't exist yet. So public void no return reset current stat equals 0. Okay, cool. What's this? Add special meter does not exist in the current context. So that is probably what is that called now? Add special meter.
People are messaging me to tell you to stop telling yourself you're stupid or weird or whatever.
Well, okay. Thank you for your concern, everyone. I was just being silly. Wah. Mer. I just choked on coffee. Yep, there it is. Excuse me. All right, so I believe that I broke a lot of things. Let's find out. Yeah, the special should be at 0 right now.
Is that helpful?
Super helpful, thank you. Now it's possible that it just hasn't. Nope, it's yeah. All right.
It's a kitten. Orange.
So, oh, it's because I don't even have. It's a null reference exception because it doesn't exist. That would do it. Special meter. I thought that was supposed to be special tracker. I thought I changed your name. Okay. Erg. Oh, I didn't change the name of the file. Whoops. My bad. Player. Special meter should be special tracker. Oh, and then I have to actually add some content into it. So player. That's the wrong wrong script. Remove. Special tracker. Here we go. All right. So this special bar should be at 0, but it's not. It doesn't reset. until probably I actually make a hit. Yeah, okay. And I can't fire my special yet, but I should be able to now. Okay, cool. So everything works about right, except that the special tracker does not... I don't need that yet. The special tracker does not start at 0 properly, which is odd. So current stat equals 0. Which raises a special meter change that says 0 over whatever. Over max, 0 over max stat when you set current stat. And all of this happens first. It just clamps it, okay. So yeah, this should be happening. Current stat should be setting itself to 0 at the right time, so I'm not sure why it's not. Log current special equals plus current stat. Let's see what happens. The log says current special equals 0, so the problem is not that the current special isn't 0, it's that this is raising an event, but something is not yet subscribed to it, specifically this something here. Where is that? That's in the HUD and the special meter. So it's possible that this subscribe is just getting called at the wrong time. So subscribe should probably happen on enable. And now that should be 0. Dang it, it's not. Null reference again. Player, bar meter, this thing? Curses. All right. I told you this part would be code heavy. And this is all so that Pooper is a more reasonable class. And this is why things should be less what's called coupled. So the more coupled a code base, the more connected everything is to each other, and the more connected things are to each other. If you change one thing in the code base, you have to change all of those files, and that's bad. As you can see right now, I just wanted to do a simple change, but I can't do that yet until I change all of this stuff. So I'm definitely going to have to step back, probably later tonight, look at my code base, and try to figure out whether there's a way that I can decouple things more, because, well, I mean, I've had to change, like, look at this. Look at source tree. The source tree is telling me that I've made a huge number of changes in a lot of different scripts. So, yeah, it's kind of a mess that I have to fix at some point, maybe. So, anywho, I'm having trouble right now with a race condition where debug.log bar meter bar meter plus name, yeah, bar meter plus name is going to happen at the wrong time, most likely. It's going to happen after the special tracker sends out this message. the first time. Special change. All right. So most likely, if I look at this, special change happened before the special meter happened. Before the special meter actually subscribed. So that's definitely the problem. Okay, what is the purpose of coupling? Well, coupling in and of itself is not a particularly bad thing. Coupling is basically... Wait, is that a joke? Or is that programming? Because that could be talking about romance, and that's a whole different topic. If it's about programming, I mean, different systems have to talk to each other. This poop meter here is not going to know whether it needs to change or not unless it's coupled to something. And the something, it just depends on how you couple it. Right now, it's fairly decoupled from the poop storage component, basically, because the storage component and this bar are talking to the global event bus instead of talking directly to each other. So that's a good thing. But there's clearly some tangle, there's some mess still going on where they don't just talk to each other, but they also depend on each other. And that's the problem, is when they depend on each other, you get much tighter connections that have to be untied every time you make a change, if that makes sense. So right now I need to find out where that connection is and sever it. I don't know if you remember this, but 1 or 2 streams ago, this thing here, this bar that basically tells you where you're going to poop, I had to put it into the scene and then connect it to all of these different bits. I would have to drag a player onto it, and then I have to drag environment on, and all sorts of things would have to connect to it. And that's an example of really bad coupling, because you should, it should be able to act kind of as its own agent, but instead I had to manually set up multiple things on it, and that's not always a good thing, I guess. So I spent some time refactoring it so that it could basically deal with itself, and it was a little bit less coupled, which means I could take it out of the scene and nothing would break and blah, blah, blah. So decoupling is a big topic, and I don't know enough about it yet, but I'm learning. All right, special meter. What is going on here? The special meter is not subscribing at the right time. I definitely want it to start, let's see here, a week? Maybe? Right now the problem is that this special meter is starting at full, even though technically, if you pause it and switch to debug, if you pause it, technically the player special current stat is 0 here, but it looks like it's full right now, and that's not what you want. You want it to start by displaying the fact that it's 0, and there's clearly a problem with the way that I have things set up. Specifically, that bus that I was talking about, the event bus that everything talks to, was receiving the notification that the special was 0 before the special meter actually started listening. So yeah, it's a lot to dig into, but that's what's happening. Yay. Let's see here. So why are we not... Yeah, bar and poop. And what is this? Change meter was happening before. No, so this should be on start because change meter actually requires it to be started, not just awakened. Special meter. So you percentage stat is being sent prior to the subscription, and that's the problem. But so I could easily fix this with one tiny move. Well, two tiny moves. Basically, Unity has a method of telling Unity which scripts should happen first. It's called the script execution order. And I could easily just tell it, do special meter before you do special tracker. I could easily do that. But that's not... Usually, if you have to do something like that, there's actually something more wrong with your code. And, like, usually if you have to put something in script execution, either you're working on, like, something that's so low level, like, so engine related, that it makes sense to put it in script execution order, or you've made a mistake somewhere. And that's what I'm looking for now, is where my mistake is, because this is not engine stuff. This is just display stuff, and who cares about that? So let's see here. How do we work this? This is just getting called too early. But it has to be called at start. That's the latest possible I can call it. So the problem is that this has information that's only available on start. Okay. Get component and any kind of connection to components that are on the object can actually be done in awake. So let me show what just happened, and that should fix it. Then I'll explain what start and awake and all of those things are. Not quite. Darn. Should have, but didn't. I mean, it got rid of the error. Yay. Do. Oops. Yep, not doing well. It's very difficult with a mouse right now. Okay, I just missed everything. Anyway, all right, so that's not quite correct. That did not actually work. Let me put the logs back in. Debug.log. Changed special to plus current stat. Actually, I'll just do a percentage stat. Yeah, that's more accurate. Okay. And this debug.log subscribe to special stat change. Set transforms and cached transform and scale. Coupling is a big reason people like to burn singletons, manager, and global variables at the stake. Yes, that is correct. And I have a lot of burning to do, if you may have noticed. All right, cool. So we have a log of what happened. Cached transform for the poop meter, cached transform and scale for the special meter, then change the special to 0, and then subscribed. Right, derp. All right. Can I just do that? Was the problem just that I didn't bring enough into awake? That makes more sense, right? There we go. It's 0. And cached transform for poop. Subscribed special. Transform for special. Okay, yeah, I didn't put the logs in the correct order, but otherwise, that is what I needed to do. I don't know. All right, so I just needed to move these from awake from start into awake, and these all can be moved into awake. Right, I wanted to show you guys what I'm talking about. Unity. Execution order. So this is a document I refer to a lot. So I've been talking about things like start and update and awake and so on and so forth. There are, so awake, bless you, awake and on enable and start are all part of the execution order during like initialization. This is when the script is being started. And so the thing about awake conveniently is everything on that object, maybe not underneath, maybe not above, but everything on that object exists already on awake. So generally you can call things like get component, and technically this is a get component as well, because it's, well, it literally is get component. So you can call things like get component. You can cache information on that object pretty reliably in awake. It doesn't work for everything, and there are, certain caveats that you need to know. I could make this on enable, which actually I'm going to try because it's best to do things as late as possible, so that everything has a chance to fully initialize. But yeah, okay, so that still works how I want. So yeah, awake happens, then on enable, then start. Start only ever happens once on a given script, but awake and on enable happen every time you like turn them on and off. Let's see here. Then there's a physics update, which like it's a totally separate update loop from the game logic update loop, which you've seen me say update before, right there. So anyway, and then there's all the way down here. There's even a late update, which is convenient for doing stuff after everything's already been done. So anywho, that's a little bit about script execution order. All right, so what is this? Could be made static. Return score delta. I guess it could. I mean, this could even be a property, but I think it makes more sense to be a static method than a property. All right. Cool. So, how are we doing here? Have we successfully done all the things necessary to that? Yes. Okay. So if I close this, the last thing I need to change is names of events. Technically, this is a percentage change. Let's see here. Dude, don't worry about it. Welcome back. You're allowed to have your own life. You don't have to stick to my stream eternally. All right. Ooh, I cannot spell. Special. Special tracker change for now. All right. And then score change, that makes sense. Score add also makes sense. Really? Okay. Todd, I would love to hear a little bit more about why you avoid updates specifically. I would imagine that you are incapable of avoiding update. But I'm very interested in the concept. I mean, I know that like anything you can do outside of update, you should. Like, it's much better to use events and delegates and stuff like that versus, say, having a flag and checking it every frame or something. So like that's kind of an obvious. Okay, of course you avoid that, but I'm interested to know, I guess, what you mean otherwise. Yeah. And I need to... Performance coroutine libraries to run their entire game off of? Wow. Okay, that's interesting. So, okay. Instead of running every frame, you run every 10th of a second or something, and you rely on physics to move everything. Is that kind of what we're, I guess, getting at, more or less? Health poop meter change. I really don't like that name, health poop meter. I mean, I know it's health poop tracker now, but it's still bad. It's not bad, though, because this is exactly what it does. Maybe I'll find a different name sometime, but right now... So the reason I'm not just calling it poop meter is it is also a health meter, right? You run into something and you get damaged. We're sharing resources, which is unique, and so I'm not really sure how to name it because we're sharing the resource. All right. And then... Oh, this is bad. These are like the same thing and the same name. What? All right. Oh, this, much like score, should probably just change to add. So I can get rid of the word tracker on all of these and stick with score add and score change. Yeah, special change. Special change is a percentage, and that's also a percentage, but then you add. Running a ton of updates eventually bogs down the game substantially. Reflection, testing performance, it's verifiable that even just having objects in an array, calling by looping over from... That's really weird, Todd. That being said, I mean, isn't this a lot of what ECS is built to overcome eventually? I intend to look into whether ECS will be useful for this project later. I've read that it's fairly good in terms of converting a code base to ECS later, if that makes sense. So I'm not ready to touch ECS. I've been coding for a couple months, if we're honest. So I'm not ready to go there yet, but it is definitely something I already intended to look at. So hopefully, if it's necessary, I can implement that later. Do you have to name it with the health? After playing, they may be able to realize that the meter is both poop and health. You could always have a how to play page. If you run out of poop, you die. Yeah, well, first of all, any of these names that I'm doing are just for me. No one's going to see the code backend, except everyone who watches my stream, but no matter what I name these, people aren't going to see what I name them. They're only going to see what my UI shows, right? So it's really just for me. That being said, usually the name here does drive what the name ends up being on the UI, so it's still fair to talk about. That being said, I would like to make it obvious if I can. And I haven't decided how I'm going to display health and poop and specials and stuff like that. Right now, they're just bars because I needed something on screen. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know the answers yet. Right now, I'm going to leave them as health poop because that's super descriptive. It tells me, the coder, exactly what they are. In fact, yeah. All right, so I'm gonna save all, and that was just renaming stuff, so that's always a good thing. I should check out the other events just to make sure no other events need to be renamed. Input events, not the debug mode, normal, there we go. Right tap, double tap, left tap, that's fine. Player events and environmental event, speed change. Do I even use this anymore? I forget. Never used. No, I don't. Wonderful. All right, I'm going to just delete that because don't need to think about it anymore. Yay. There is a log in the console. Okay, good. I already deleted it. Awesome. And make sure everything works, and then I'm going to commit all this because I've done way more than I should have without committing. All right, special meter started at 0. I should be able to, come on. Oops, I missed. And I should be able to activate my special and reactivate it every time. Yeah, okay, cool. All right, cool. All of that's working. Auto mod, aggressive. Let's see here. Unity in 2018 was crazy. It was the first time I actively started studying, and yeah, the release schedule was absurd. I don't know why this was not allowed. Yeah, 2018 just released so many features, and that's like literally when I started. So Unity has been changing so fast, so much, and I'm just like, what am I doing? Yeah. What is this? What is this image? I probably shouldn't have opened that. Hi, Mark. Yep, 28. Yeah. It's been absurd. It has been an absurd year for Unity, and I only know that because I've been talking with a lot of other people who are using Unity who have been using it for years, and they're like, it's never updated this fast. So they must have just had a billion different features in queue ready to go, and they were like, all right, let's fire everything, because it's just been wonderful but also insane. Between prefabs and ECS and burst compiler and, like you said, job system. Yeah. Crash issues? I don't really know anything about specific crash issues. I mean, like, every professional program has so much going on that they crash sometimes, but Otherwise, I've felt like it's been fairly stable. Most of my issues have actually been, what's the word? User error. Nested prefab, yes. All right, cool. Where are we? Everything works. I wanted to commit because I've done too much. Yeah, way too much. So, and all of that, everything that I just did was just to pull the special meter information out of the pooper. Here. All of that. So, pulled special meter out of pooper, created stat meter class, abstract class, renamed events to better match architecture. Yeah, okay, cool. So, now that we've done that, I told you it would be a big day for coding. I didn't lie. Let's see here. We have pulled this information out. Is there anything else that we need to do in this class right now? Let's see here. It poops and it maintains its own display. Hi, Joe. You just missed a boatload of coding. We did a giant refactor just to take like 3 or 4 lines out of this script. It was great. So this is interesting. Oh, can poop. Okay, can poop is in this case actually related to the pooper, so that's good. I thought that this can poop was going to be like, oh, do you have any poop left? And I was like, that doesn't belong in this script, but it totally does. Yay. Yeah. So I'm gonna name this var time since last poop. Yeah, that makes more sense. Okay. Normal poop caches a time, and then it decrements its container, and then it fires off a poop, which is all of this stuff here. That's all good. Okay, cool. So we're on to the next big thing. Todd, it looks like you've definitely worked through some of Ben's courses on Unity, so you're going to recognize what I'm doing pretty much immediately, I think. The rest of you, I guess, talk through it as I work. So I'm going to make a new script called special behavior. I started to try to do this in the last stream, and I realized that it was too big to start right now, or at that time. So, special actions. But here we are doing it now. Now that I remember a little bit more of how to do it. So yeah, special behavior is going to be an abstract class. So what I'm doing now is I'm building a rudimentary system for basically making multiple different special behaviors. You remember how, like, if you double tap, the bird just sends a stream of poop going down? Well, there are going to be other specials than just that. So for instance, some of the ideas that I've had are you turn the game into a tapper for a short time, so you just tap as much as you can and you fire as much as you can, or you are going to drop a giant, massive poop instead of instead of a rain of poop. I've implemented the make it rain system. So each bird might have a different special ability, and so I need a system for containing that, and that's what I'm building now. And the reason I'm building it is because that stuff does not belong in this script. Like literally all of this can go away if I can move it out. So that's what I'm going to do. But to do that, I have to build an entire system, and there's a fairly decent way of doing it, at least for now, that I like, that I'm going to work on and make happen. All right, so public abstract class special behavior extends mono behavior, and what's up here? I remember trying to get into Unity once, but it was so weird and scary, so I left. You were lucky you didn't use Unity in 4.0. Yes, I believe I am quite lucky about that. I've read some horror stories. You may need to make all the specials to be fairly the same power level. Oh yeah, totally, of course. But that's just a balancing thing. That's, playing with each special and, finding out how many points seem to feel like they're possible with each special, if that makes sense, and then just balancing them properly. And yeah, again, Noob Master, larger poop bar, that all I have to do is turn up the number of, the max poop number, and that'll work. I just wanted, at least for now, something that was simple and obvious whenever I did anything. But that's all balancing, and I'm not ready to balance yet. Todd, yes, we're going to be seeing some scriptable objects. And yes, the Noob Master, these things will be unlockable. You can unlock different birds, you can unlock different special powers, so on and so forth, in theory. I haven't decided exactly how to unlock them, whether it's going to be with in-game currency, whether it's going to be with actual currency, and in-game currency, because I'm not going to make anything that you have to buy. But so I haven't decided on a lot of those systems. I've just decided what I want to see, and I'll have to build systems on top of that to make everything work nicely together. But anywho, there we go. I keep on looking over here because the chat is right there, so sorry about that. So this is going to be rain special behavior. All right. So the rain special behavior is going to extend special behavior. Wow, that was great. Okay, cool. And I'm going to put this on the player, and then I'm going to start moving code from place to place. Special behavior. Oh, right. Player nested prefabs. Wonderful. Can I do it now? Yay, I can. I should probably update these. This is 10, and this should have a special tracker on it as well as a health poop tracker, and this should be, if I recall, 20. Minimize. Keep that open for now. And is 1.5 right? I don't recall. We'll find out. All that can go away. Cool. All right. What do we have? Overrides, pooper script, health tracker, and special tracker. Not sure. Yeah, let's revert. There. Okay. Sorry. Cool. Ready. So the rain special behavior is going to be the thing that does everything regarding specials. Well, not everything, but a lot of it. And to do that, if I recall, I want to, excuse me, for starters, just move all of this in there. Oh my gosh, the whole thing. Is there a shortcut for delete line in Visual Studio? Probably, right? VS delete line. Control L, cut, Shift delete, cut text, and okay, so that cool. Ugh, so many different. Control X is cut text, and Control Shift L is delete. Okay, so L is line, and that's what I would want to do. So, like, if I wanted to get rid of this, it would be just, what, Control L? Yeah, and then Control Shift L deletes, and then, what was it? Control Shift X? No. Ah, I closed it. Shift delete, cut and carriage return. So if I wanted to do this, no, not right. Well, Shift delete or Control X to cut the line and the carriage. Okay. Anyway, it's a little faster, I guess. We'll see. Okay, so lots of errors because I just moved a whole bunch of stuff willy-nilly. But I've already committed, so that's fine. I'm allowed to do that. Start coroutine cannot. Okay, so first I will deal with this. Import IEnumerator. Good. So that's dealt with. Now spawn poop is going to be the needs to happen here. So we're gonna have to have access to this, I think. So let's see here. This would have to be pooper dot spawn poop. Now we need private pooper. Spawn poop needs to be public. I know it should be internal, but I haven't done that yet. I don't have namespaces, so internal is kind of exactly the same as public right now. I need to add namespaces. That's for sure. All right. So, oops. Grr. On start, we set the pooper. Good. Now, when you fire a special, it's not going to reset. That happens probably in the pooper. Like that. And this is going to be public. And so we're going to do special. Oh, interesting. Special behavior dot fire special. That's, I need to actually have a special behavior reference up here somewhere, I think. Does any of this make sense? All right, where should this be? Special behavior should just take care of itself, right? So yeah, this shouldn't be here. In fact, why is any of this here? Yeah, no. All right. that goes away. Actually, that just becomes fire special and special reset. Yeah, that goes in here. And it subscribes to its own input, this input here. So we need an iSpawn things, implement. Oh, not an iSpawn things. I don't actually have the right. Oh boy. This should be iEventBus subscriber. And that forces these to be public, unfortunately, which is silly, but whatever. All right. Okay, cool. That's what was going on. So, we probably, yeah, we don't use this at all. This only gets used in here. And that has cleared up all of those. Okay. Yes, yes, we're doing it. We're making real good progress here, I think. All right, special cost. Hi.
Oh, you're not even done.
No, I'm not.
Oh, well, here, have this for later.
Thanks. All right. So we have subscribed to the double tap, and anytime that we double tap, we try the special, which looks at, can we do the special? If we can do the special, then fire the special and reset the special. That makes sense. Right now, I'm not even sure we need a special cost because we're just doing it based on percentages of the special meter being filled, and it uses your entire special meter. So it's actually going to be closer to like changing the algorithm that we use or something to add to. Yeah, okay, cool. I'll figure that out later. But we definitely don't need a special cost, which is great. We're going to take a break around this time, technically around 2:30, but yes. Would you prefer to always reset the special after firing? After resting? Would you prefer to always rest? Sorry, I'm not sure what you're asking. Currently, the special meter resets completely, or the special tracker resets completely after you successfully fire the special. Are you saying I should put this in here into the fire special method? Because, I mean, I guess that could make sense. And in fact, it does make sense. And like you said, it is minor, but minor is important, right? All right, let's see if this works. There are compile errors, so it doesn't work. What do we got? Oh, hi. Pooper is not using the right names anymore. Yes. Okay, so that should have fixed those compile errors. And play. Alright, special starts at 0. That's good. Uh-oh. I cannot seem to activate my special. Is it at full? It's hard to tell. Yeah, it's definitely at full, and I can't activate it, so something's gone awry. Let's see what happens. Do we ever activate, or do we ever try special? Debug.log, try special. Also, what's a better word than try special? Especially for those of you who already know about try catch blocks. You should not use generally any keywords in your name of your method unless like you actually are using those keywords, i.e. in this case try. But it's just so, it works so well and it's so short that I'm like, it's good, but it is technically breaking a convention that I shouldn't break, and like I don't really care too much, but at the same time, if I could come up with a better alternative. Yeah, I was thinking attempt, Todd, but it's just long, and it feels almost pretentious, which is silly. But so yeah, attempt was one of the better ones that I had thought of, but try just feels so right. I don't know. Anyway, so that's a thing that has been bothering me for a while. But yeah, methods can get pretty long, so try is great because it's short. I'm of the same mind. I just always use try anyway. I mean, it's only against conventions that I've kind of decided to agree upon. A lot of people don't. I read a book called Clean Code, and it's by... Was that one by Martin Fowler? I don't remember. Hold on. Clean Code. Robert Martin. Okay. By Robert Martin, aka Uncle Ben, apparently. So anyway, so he has a lot of his own conventions, and you know, I basically read through the book and decided on what I agreed upon and what I didn't agree with. And over time, I kind of started to develop my own personal preferred style. And one of the things I don't like to do, again, is use words unless, use keywords in a method name unless the method actually uses it. So, you know, I avoid, for instance, when I'm using the word change, because instead of update, because update is you know, an actual like engine keyword. So I guess, like I said, it's a convention that he decided on and I decided that I liked. I left a few of his preferred conventions behind and kept most of them. So that's that. Check test query. Yeah, so check maybe. But like checking special doesn't really make as much sense as try special. Like try is a verb, and I don't know. It's convenient, confusing. Combar Capes, I have not seen you yet. Hi, welcome to the stream. You just use or activate special. It's signaling intent enough even if you can't do it. I mean, that's a fair point too. Yeah, so anyway, those are all just silly thoughts that I have been having. Oh, I should make it easier to access the special really quickly. Oh, hey, that needs a value there. 1. Yeah, like I said, try is just so short and exacting. It's like, it's the perfect word, but for the fact that there is a try catch block that is commonly used, and I'm not using it, but, anyway. So debug did not log anything out on this, which means that double tap is actually just not happening. I'm wondering if it's a problem with... Try special takes a double tap event and double tap event. What's going on there? Thesaurus. Yes, awesome. I haven't actually thought about using a thesaurus because I don't know. I don't think about the obvious things sometimes. Shot? Bid? Dab? What? I don't understand some of these. This is weird. These are terrible, terrible, terrible. I think attempt is the best. Okay. Well, I'm going to do that because we've all agreed that... oh, wow. Attempt. Nope. Special. All right. Cool. And instead of fire, I will just say use, because that's much more of a generic word. So I like that. All right, but the problem is we're not even getting to here. Probably because we're not subscribing to events. That would be why. Cool. That's what I was saying. Who said what? What? I don't... When did you say that? Oh, nouns. Okay. Gotcha. All right, I'll take a look again. And I didn't see the tabs. Attempt, verb, attempt, attack, seek, struggle, work, aim, speculate. Nah. No, it's either try or it's attempt. All right. So I didn't subscribe, which was the problem. So on enable, we're going to subscribe events, and on disable, unsubscribe events. Just move those out of the way so we don't have to think about them anymore. I should find a way to put these. So I want to find a way to put these into the into this interface, event bus subscriber, basically requiring you to call this method, but I can't because you might need to subscribe at a different time, like maybe awake or something like that. So I don't know how to deal with that yet. And so it's really easy to forget to actually call the method that you created, especially when you're copy pasting. It's harder when you're just, making a new, totally new file, but it's easy to forget to subscribe if you're doing a big copy paste refactor or something. So theoretically, I should be able to, yep, good. Okay, wonderful. Why were there 4 of them? That was weird. Oh. All right. I think I know why there are 4 attempt special calls, and I just want to log out to make sure my assumption is correct. Special, can do special. I think I'm just, it's considering all of those a double tap. Like I'm technically holding my right click for multiple frames, so it's considering all of those individual double taps. theoretically, that's not a problem as long as this returns true the first time and then false the rest of the times. True, false, false, false. Yeah, okay, cool. That's what's happening. That's fine. Okay. So, I'm not going to go into special, words. I'm not going to do any additional work on this special behavior yet, so I'm not going to do scriptable objects, and I'm not going to, like, pull stuff out of here and into here yet, because I'm not super interested in practicing all of the other, or building all of the other specials out yet. I don't think now is the time for that. In fact, extending special behavior class was basically telling me there is only one way that I should do this, set up this architecture, and I don't want to lock myself in yet to one specific implementation, so I'm just going to do that for now. Come on, go into player. Okay. Cool. So moved special behavior to new component out of pooper and into new component. Sweet. We did it. The pooper class is a little more simple. It still feels really heavy for what it does. And so I'm going to look through and see if there's anything we can do to fix that. It's got to get the container at some point. It gets its own health poop, spawns its zone, subscribes to events, decides if it can poop or not, and if it can poop, then it, okay, this is the definition for that. And if it can poop, then it does poop. And instead of decide, I'm going to follow convention, attempt poop, normal poop, caches, it changes the number and it spawns, and spawning happens, and this is subscription stuff. Yeah, okay. So, don't need that. Poop per second limits the number of times you can poop by holding. Minimum spread and maximum spread, I might turn those into a different something later, but I'll leave them now. Poop velocity H. Where do we use this? Landing zone. Gotcha. Is there a standard to the ordering of public and private methods? So no, and well, I mean, yes and no. There are conventions. There are not requirements. Usually, what I do, usually I start with public and then go down to private. Now, these serialized field privates, I essentially consider those public, because they are what we interact with in the inspector. So for instance, the player pooper script, which should update in a few seconds. Oh, I didn't save it. Okay. The player pooper script has poop per second, exposed to us. And as you can see, that's here, and that's technically a private. So I like to put serialized fields as close to the top as possible because they feel public to me, and it's it's what we're interacting with. It's literally the levers that we're working with. So I put those at the top. If I'm using a property to basically be a getter of a serialized field, I'll put the property with its associated thing. So, I mean, because this is sort of public and this is public, for me they go to the top. Again, this one is another example of a sort of public and then totally public. And let's see here. Down here, I then put the private members. In terms of, and yeah, these members are totally private. I don't have access to them in the inspector, and I don't have access to them via any kind of properties or anything like that. So then the body, I do need to reorder this again now that I've refactored so much out of it, but the rest of like the methods and stuff like that, I still haven't figured out exact conventions for what I want to do. Unity doesn't care where you put start in the file. I put awake and enable and start and stuff like that on the top because it's literally the first thing that happens. But if I have like I actually never knew that you could use a lambda and property together. Todd, that is another update in Unity that happened recently. That's technically not a lambda. I mean, it looks like it, but it's literally just another way to express properties now. And it's because Unity updated to one of the later versions of .NET. So it's just, a later C# feature that wasn't available prior. And it's really convenient. Right when I saw it, I switched to it because I had such ugly properties before. So anyway, yeah, let's see here. So yeah, generally I do things that I'm going to interact with a lot. I put them at the top, and if attempt poop needs can poop, then I put can poop right after it. And then normal poop right after that because, so this becomes kind of a execution block, if that makes sense. So all of these will probably move together if they ever get moved. But spawn zone display happens before that, so I have that here. That being said, subscribe events, as you can see, is all the way down here. And that was just a choice I made because once I've set these, I don't ever want or need to think about them. In fact, there. So it's basically a public foo, get, return, private foo. Yes, that's correct. That is just a shorthand for that. So yeah, that's just my personal convention. I don't like to think about the subscriptions once I've written them for the most part. So I put those towards the bottom where possible, just to get them out of my mind. And then everything else, and again, this is a convention that I learned and liked from clean code, but also it just makes sense. Everything flows. So can poop happen, if you call attempt poop, can poop happens first, so you put it next. Normal poop happens next, so you put that next, so on and so forth. All right. So I think that this has been cleaned up as much as is reasonable. Yeah, which is great. So let's close all that. And max stat is going to be, what was that, 20 before? Yeah. Cool. I feel like 33 is a much higher number than I want. Oops. Don't. Missed both of them. Oh, man. Oh, man. I don't know why I pooped there. This is definitely not meant for mouse control. All right. Cool. So that works. Cats, what the hell? Was that you or the cats, Sparrow?
That was me.
Oh, okay.
I was on the phone.
Okay.
I didn't want to talk and then throw you off.
Got it.
Now I'm talking and throwing you off.
Cool.
Hi, baby.
Okay. So all of those refactors worked quite well. Everything is split up a lot better. Stage these. What did I do? Let's see here.
We aren't
Pooper.
doing anything Wednesday, correct? Around 8:30.
Wait, Wednesday 8:30? Is that tomorrow? No, that's
Today's
next week.
Thursday.
Wednesday is the 30th.
Yeah.
I don't know of anything I have on the 30th.
Cool. I need you to take me to Anaheim.
Okay.
Cool.
So, moved and actually just RF moved methods and renamed decide to attempt. Okay. Cool. So we did that. Where is that? That's on Trello. Split up pooper class. Done. Screw you. So now change all no. Now I take a break. Within commits, it's generally good to use an active tense as the change you are making is what is happening to a branch when it is being committed. All right, let me read that again. It's generally good to use an active tense as the change you are making. What did I do? I don't. I have not worked in a professional environment at all. So in my source control naming conventions are absolutely terrible. Moved methods, renamed decide to attempt. Those are oh, gotcha. So interesting. So the convention is move methods and rename decide to attempt. Gotcha. Why is that? What I was going to say, actually, before you get into why that is, it's time for a break. So I'm going to get up, stand up, take a stretch, and come back. If you're new, because I see that I've got 14 viewers. I don't know if anyone here is new or not. If you're new and haven't followed me, it'd be great to get a follow. If you have followed me and I missed the follow notification, I'm really sorry. I don't know how that happened because it yells at me every time I do it. But yeah, thank you so much for being here. I will be back in a few minutes. I'm going on break to break my back because it hurts. Hi.
Can you add?
I'm back.
In the
Yeah, I'm
server
working on
again?
it. I'm working on it. Huh.
You're being hosted too. You should thank her on stream live.
Back from break. Okay. Yes. Thank you, Stacy, for hosting me. I don't know if you're watching. You're probably not because, you know, this is not your expertise.
Baby Cat's being a good supervisor.
Thank you, baby cat. All right. So, let's see here. Bye, this is official. Good to see you. Pop back in or whatever. Cool. So, I'm going to finish that so that I can open my next drink. I really need to get more Gatorade. Gatorade, I think, was the perfect drink for these streams for me. Okay. So, where were we? We just committed. I already put the Git style guide into my Trello GTD task list, so I will get to that at some point or another. Let's see here. Everything should still work from a mobile stand. Ouch. I'm still really bad at this. Also, there's like when you're playing on mobile with just the mobile connection or whatever, it's a lot more kind of sluggish and unresponsive. So I'm also worse because of that. But I'm also bad because I haven't tweaked everything to where it needs to be. So its controls are just not good yet. Okay. So, over here, change all movement system to fully support non-kinematic rigid body. Okay. Cool. Let's figure that out. Starting with this guy. I don't have to think about those ever again, until later. Cool, so this is going to spawn a target prefab into the container, and then it's going to keep a reference to the player target so that it can always vector towards it. WB Peter, that was a shorter break than I expected. WB? I don't know what W means, whatever. Shorter break than you expected. It was like 10 minutes. It was long. I usually take 5. I even had time for a mini massage from Sparrow. Whatever. All right. So, what I'm working on now is the player movement, specifically changing all movement systems to fully support non-kinematic rigid body. Now, what that means is that I am no longer allowed to use transform.translate. It works pretty well, which is good, but it has the issue of not using velocity, and having a velocity in the rigid body is going to help with some of the other issues that are going to come down the line. So that's what I'm up to. Currently, we just move towards the thing. Let me load up the old player movement script from my RPG and see what that is like. Literally called my RPG. Probably should rename that one day. Characters? I really need meta files to look different than CS files. Or something. Oh, they already do. Okay. There's probably something in here. On animator move. Oh, this is all root motion. Ugh. I'm not using root motion, and I'm not going to use root motion. That's no good. That won't help. All right. So move towards target should be add velocity towards target or something like that. If you can, try operating on the velocity directly is my advice. Just curious, Todd, do you disagree that I should... do you agree that I should not be using translate at this point? Or do you think that that is a potentially unnecessary optimization? You could get away with using forces if you clamp the velocity manually, yeah. I used to have a problem. I was using velocity before, and what would happen is I'd have a target, and then I would like fly above the target and then oscillate either until I hit the target, or I would just start oscillating in an infinite loop, and that was just no good. So yeah, that's the kind of issue that I'm trying to avoid. So like I could... All right, I have a vertical offset, which is destination y minus current y, and let's see here. Yeah, okay, so you do agree that that's the direction I should be going, kind of. Excuse me. Let's see here. So, if the player is here and the target is here, then this is the offset. Now, if I just made a velocity that big, then if suddenly I put the target here, the velocity would be so big that you'd probably overshoot down to here or something. And that's no good. So theoretically, I would want to like have a force pushing back up towards this or something, which you can see because a system like UNet can't interpolate unless you move by rigid body. Right. That's an excellent point. UNet, if I recall, UNet's the one of the multiplayer engines, and it basically sends new velocity and position data every 0.25 seconds or something, and you can adjust how often it sends, but that uses more network information, and so it has to use rigid body to move all of the objects. So yeah, I should definitely not be using translate if I can help it. But that means I need to figure out a good system for this thing. All right. So yeah, if I have a force the size of its offset, and I just push that force until we hit here, and then do a reverted force, or an inverted force. That's gonna be weird. It's like you were saying, it's probably better that I set, instead of a force, I set my velocity here, and then once I reach my target, then I reset velocity. There's one target position you want to reach, something like where the player is touching. Yes, exactly. All right. So I think that literally just setting velocity to the offset vector is going to work. The problem is that if you do that every frame, you're going to slow down considerably as you get closer. So this will be really fast, and this will be slow. And I don't like that, which was a problem that I had before. So I fixed it by normalizing this vector. I can barely read my writing, but it's close enough. Normalizing wasn't good because it looked ugly or something. No, it caused a back and forth issue. Yeah, velocity definitely needs to remain constant up until a point. And like you said, I've tried a precision threshold before. I had some issues with it, but it's definitely it definitely has to be the way that I go. The problem was that it was accepting continuous input. Is that a problem? I'm not sure that's a problem. All right. If I do this with my mouse, or with my taps, sorry, don't know if you can hear me well, and the player is here, and I do this, it's going to currently move slow, fast, slow, fast, slow, fast, etc., right? Player target new position, and only change it then. No, that doesn't make a difference. All right, I'm gonna try this again and see what the problems were with a precision threshold. If not at target, yeah. But no, I see what you're saying, and yeah, that's what I was planning on doing, Todd. In fact, that's what I had before a while back, and it wasn't working well, and so I reverted it to this translate just because it was working better. But I didn't realize that I was really going to want to rely on velocity for more things later. So, like, not just velocity, but I was having issues with collisions not being detected because things were not kinematic and all of these kinds of issues. So it was just a whole big mess, and I want to get it working again with velocity so that, well, it can actually work. All right, so if not, actually, if at threshold, then return, and then do stuff. Let's make that. At threshold is, oh, I want to actually make that a function. Whoops. Whoa. Oh no, bamboo. Oh, bamboo did its thing. So, I have to... I should have known not to open that program. Did that fix everything? I hope so. Let's find out. Bamboo has a weird bug where sometimes it will steal focus, even when you're... I mean, well, that's what stealing focus is. I was going to say, even when you're not, like, focused on that particular application, and it's super annoying when it does that, but whatever. All right. I wanted to make this into a function, or a method, I mean. And I think there's a way to just do that. Yeah, convert property to method. Well, that's not what I wanted. All right, whatever. It's easier to do it like this anyway. Cool. All right, private bool at threshold. And we still did that wrong. Move threshold. So we make that first as a serialized field. Private float move threshold. The reason that I'm passing move threshold in instead of just using the thing originally is I've run into several times where I just wanted to use this method elsewhere as well. So passing it in that case makes sense. But you know what? This is stupid. All right, I'm not going to do it like that yet. It's dumb. I will change that if I need it. Property, boolean, equals transform dot position dot y. Dot equals... This is the one with the threshold, right? No? I know there was a function for this, but I don't remember what it is. All right. Let's see if it just tells me what that function is. Oh, no, it just frickin' does it. Also, I typed all of that wrong. Target. What's the target called here? Player target? That's a bad name. All right. Call that move target. Container. Private bool at threshold. No. Don't want that. Move this up with the serialized stuff. Swoop speed is currently not being used, but it will be used. All right, what's up here? All right, this time with a fresh set of eyes and some new rubber ducks, we can see if... Yes, exactly. We can see if we can't solve the issues this time. Here's to hoping we can. I don't like how that looks. Just because it's... No, I don't like that either. All right, I'll just keep it here. Also, why is this public? That's better. Cool. All right. So, if at threshold return, woot, we got it. Epsilon. Oh, there. So yeah, I could use epsilon, but that wouldn't give me enough control over, like macro stuff, I guess. It's fairly unlikely for the player to actually hit the offset epsilon or whatever. So I'm going to avoid epsilon and just use a move threshold instead. All right. So if at threshold, return. If not at threshold, then move towards target or move towards threshold. This return is probably wrong. It's probably more like set velocity to 0. Yeah. Oh, got it. Sorry, Todd. Yeah, with enough delay, contextual messages are not always perfect. So I wanted to set the target velocity, which means I need to get that rigid body back. All right, on start, set container, spawn player target. Oh, rename. Spawn move target. And also rigid body equals get component rigid body. Cool. Okay. So now we have access to the rigid body, and we can use it here to say, oops, rigid body dot velocity equals 0. All right. So that is my catch block, basically. And then we say if not at threshold, which we don't need the else, but I'm going to put it anyway, just to be clear, at least for now. If not at threshold, we do a thing. We are going to find the vertical offset, like so. Move target. And we're going to use the vertical offset to inform the new vector. This is literally just to get the sign of the offset, though. So var new vector for now equals literally a new vector. Vertical offset. No, sorry. 0f, then vertical offset, the sign of it. Not the other sign, this sign. Times swoop speed. And 0 again. And then we do rigid body dot velocity equals new vector. By the way, if you have been wondering, or if you wanted a refresher, functions like this are why I don't like functions like this are why I use var so often. What is the point of saying this? Vector 3, new vector 3. It's just dumb. We don't care. Obviously, this is a vector that we're going to use somewhere. There's no doubt about it anywhere. Anyway, so that sets a new vector, and this will probably exhibit some of the issues that I remember dealing with prior. In fact, let me delete or remove. Why can't I? Hey, stop. Stop. This is the work of bamboo. Yep. All right. Oh, I know it does. I was trying to click because Control P wasn't working. Yeah, so, alright. Stupid bamboo. That app that I... Oh, man. Yeah, okay. Alright. Can I even end the stream? I'm going to be back after I restart my computer, and I'm never going to open Bamboo again, and I will find a different app. Nope, I can't stop the stream. Can I... No, yeah. Yeah, okay. Alright. I cannot. Wonderful. Well, I'm just going to kill my computer right here and now. If I can.